Guys, welcome back to Rogue. A lot of you guys ask me about my cars and cars in general. I'm not the biggest mechanic in the world or anything like that, but for me, muscle cars are just something that I grew up with, always loving playing with the Matchbox cars and always dreaming of having them one day. So finally made it a reality and got some. So we'll just go through real quick and I'll show you what we've got. This is a 1979 Trans Am. A lot of you guys saw the movie Smokey and the Bandit, right, with Burt Reynolds. So a lot of us grew up watching that movie and everybody had that car as a Matchbox. They aren't the fastest cars. They're not like the Chevelle or anything like that, but they're just cool. They're iconic. They're just beautiful. I mean, look at that interior. All black on black and that diamond plated front piece there. This is probably pushing maybe 300 horsepower, maybe at that. Gases went up and the emission laws came out. So the cars were still cool, but the horsepower went way down. So after 1970, don't expect a fast muscle car. Of all the cars I have, this is probably really the least cool, but it's the coolest at the same time. So it sounds good, it looks good, and that's just as important, right? All right, this here, if you don't know muscle cars, you're thinking the Camaros, Mustangs, the Hemi Cudas. Those are all cool, right? But this is a gem. This is a 1970 Buick GS Stage 1. They made just over 600 of these, so very rare car. What they did with the GS, so they had the regular GS, right? And then they took what's called, you could upgrade to a package called the Stage 1, which gave you bigger valves in your engine, a bigger cam, dual exhaust, posi traction, 510 pounds of foot torque, and about 400 horsepower in this car. So it's got an 8-track. The doors, LA Woman. Look at that. This thing's probably been in here for who knows how long. My freaking Cuda guys and Dodge guys hate this, you know, but this was kind of the car that came out to smash the Hemi. Bottom line, they're all freaking cool, right? They're all just cool cars. But for me, the Buick, it's a sleeper. Like, you don't know this car, right? But it was one of the fastest cars of the time, and it's an extremely rare car, but it's just beautiful. So I had to have it. I kind of hate mixing this in with the muscles, but it goes into cars and some history. If you know me, you know I love Italy, right? I spent years in Rome. I went to school in Rome. I worked in bars and clubs and gyms, trying to get by to pay for my tuition while going to college. So I got a deep love for Italy, the culture, the history, the beauty, the wine, the food, the women, the cars. So I always had a dream to have a Maserati. It's kind of been one of those things I've always dreamed about. Never really thinking I could ever have one, just because, you know, they were out of my league at the time. So finally pulled the trigger and picked one up. They're just classy. They're very classy. They're sexy. They're light. They're fast enough for me, which I've learned my lesson on. Me and my buddy Clark took it out when I first got it, and I got on it and smashed the front end in it. So there's a saying, guys like us can't have cars like this. So yeah, just a beautiful car. Like I said, it was a dream of mine to always have one, and I made it happen. So if you have a dream to get a car one day, go out and work hard and get one. It's not that hard. This is a Chevelle. This is a 1970 Chevelle Super Sport. Also another iconic muscle car. This is my first, besides the cars I had in high school. My first car was a 1966 Ford, and then I picked up a 1970 Dodge Corvette for $2,000, which was absolutely badass for me at the time. I had a 383 in it, and then I sold it when I joined the Marine Corps. So if you know what my Corvette is, 1970 out in Salt Lake City, let me know. This has got a 427 in it. This car originally came with a 396, but that was blown back in the 80s from the guy that I bought it from, blew it, and he put a 1969 427 in it that we had completely rebuilt. So it's got the aluminum heads on it. It's got a big old Demon carb on it. The headers are freaking awesome, sound beautiful. This was another dream car of mine. So I picked one up. Actually bought it online while I was in Afghanistan. Flew home on leave, and me and my dad went and picked it up in Nebraska. Still probably my favorite out of all of them. Probably the one I drive the most, just because it is a pure muscle car. There's no frills about it. It's just fast and loud. It's fun beating up brand new BMWs and Mercedes from light to light. So I actually had it painted recently. It was a darker green. I wanted to go with an original 70s style Chevy 45 green, which I think is awesome. You know, the reds and all that are, you see them everywhere, but this is just classic. So should I fire it up now? Yeah, let's fire it up. You got to hear this thing. You can't redo this sound. All these new muscle cars that they brought back, like the Challengers and whatnot, it's like, for me, these cars are like music, right? And depending on your feeling, you know, you want to listen to punk, thrash, country, whatever. Cars are kind of the same way. It's kind of like music. Like one day I feel like driving this, another day I feel like driving the other car. Just, you know, just having that choice to listen to different music. I kind of feel the same way about cars. But this sound right here is just, it's like war beats, you know, it's just freaking beautiful. Love it. And then last but not least, so yeah, this is a 1990 K5 Blazer. They're just awesome. When you sit in behind that wheel and you got that big old hood in front of you and the steering is just like a Cadillac. And I got kids, right? That's another big part of what I love about these cars is the experiences that they create, the memories that these kind of cars create. I'll take my daughter, loves this. She loves this because it's got a badass stereo system in it. The back's off, wind's blowing through her hair. She feels like a queen or something, you know? So, and she makes me play Katy Perry. So, but I do like Katy Perry, by the way. Just a fun beat 'em up truck. You could take this, we take this out to the range. We shoot out of the back of it. You know, we piss off liberals and hipsters with it when we drive it downtown. And this is the real reason why I bought this. When I looked at it and I opened it up, and I saw that Pirates flag, I said, sold. It's just a beater. And this is a car that I let, you know, guys, cars, trucks break down here, I let him borrow this. Jay borrowed it one time. Just, you know, him and his one leg hopping in there and driving it around was kind of cool. It connects me to my past, really. It connects me to growing up, seeing these cars and appreciating them and hoping one day to own them, which connects me to working really hard in life to be able to obtain these things. And it's not, for me, it's not, the cars aren't about show off, here's me and my, it's not that at all. It's a sense of freedom. It's a sense of owning a piece of history, really, a piece of American history. Like when they were making those cars, it's a piece of art, you know, they're heavy, they're steel, they're fast, they're loud. Like I said, the overall freedom to be able to get in one of them and go somewhere and just have that experience. You know, it's all about the experience with those cars for me. These are the cars, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking them out. We got them out here all the time. If you come by our headquarters in Austin and want to see the cars, or if you want to deadlift it, we got a deadlift bar right there. We can drive the cars onto there. And if you deadlift it, you can come in and get a free bag of coffee. But you got to be able to deadlift it at least once. So yeah, badass shit.